Hi, my name is Kelly Bartolomeo and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I wanted to take a few minutes and show you how to make my latest card. So this card, I actually saw something similar to this online and I just kind of made it my own. But I love this card, love all the colors, love dandelions, so much fun. So the featured stamp set for this card is Dandelion Wishes. Let me back up just a little bit so you can see the whole stamp set. So Dandelion Wishes, I love all these dandelions. It comes with 3 sentiments, which I love. We're going to use I Made a Wish and You Came True today. And the polka dots. So if you haven't seen these are awesome. I love these. I'm so excited to use them, and I've done a few projects already with them, but they're backgrounds and they just make everything look really cool. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is go ahead and cut out all your materials. And I used Whisper White cardstock. I used Coastal Cabana from the Brights Designer Series papers, the 12x12, the polka dot one. On one side it's polka dots and on the other side it's these really cool stripes. I'm using the polka dot side. And you'll also need the Coastal Cabana cardstock. So to start the card, I just took a piece of the Coastal Cabana 8.5 by 11 cardstock, cut it in half to make it 5.5 by 8.5, and then I scored the card at 4 1/4. Yes. So then on my notes I wrote 4 1/2, but it would not be 4 1/2. So 4 1/4. Then you're going to layer this card. So once you have scored and folded your cardstock, the first layer of the Coastal Cabana Brights Designer Series paper is going to measure out 4 by 5 1/4 is your first layer, and then your top layer will lay right on top of that, and it is going to measure 3 3/4 by 5, and this is the Whisper White. And then you'll do an inside insert that's going to be the same as your first layer. So the insert is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And I go ahead and cut everything out and have it ready to go to make the cards, especially if I'm making multiple of the same card. I think that's very helpful. And the first thing that we're going to do is this cover piece right here, where all of our stamping is going to go. Well, we have some stamping inside, but where most of our stamping is going to go. And I'm going to pull out the polka dots, and I'm going to get kind of this little starburst one. I know it's hard to see. I have to work on lighting. This is a clear stamp, so it needs to go on a clear block. So I'm just going to mount it to my block. I used the Coastal Cabana ink pad. These are new cases and I really like them. They just pop open. You can still use your blender pens with it, and then you'll just slide it in place if you're going to use the ink pad. I'm just going to grab a piece of, just a scrap piece of paper, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp my background on this. So, and what I'll do, ink up your stamp, and with this I want to go just on the corner, and the backdrop is going to overlap a little bit, and you're going to watch this side just to make sure that that back is on this white as you go down. Line it up to the back, and you'll see that this back part, even though it's slanted, is still on there. That way you don't have some white spaces. If you get a white space, it's not a big deal. You can always stamp in that place. It'll be fine. And then I'm gonna just do the other side. kind of making sure that I don't want to overlap too much, but it kind of gives a cool effect. You want to overlap just a little. Notice that I have a little white spot there, not a big deal. I'm not going to ink up completely, but I am going to go back over that just so it has some of that color, and over this spot so it has some of that color. And then just do the edge, and I am done with that part. And then I just get this clean really quickly with my chamois. Whoops. Those are my peanut butter M&Ms you hear moving around. Kind of addicted to peanut butter M&Ms, it's fine. Then that's all clean. The next thing I'm gonna do is actually stamp the dandelions. And I used the Mementos, the Tuxedo Black. And in this set, just gonna pull out this little set of dandelions. I love this one as well, but I didn't use it on this particular card, but I definitely will be using it later. Mount this on my block. Go ahead and get it inked up. Just gonna look, make sure it's black all the way around. And I'm gonna do this down at the bottom on the left-hand side. And I'm actually gonna cut off some of this dandelion to get the effect that I'm wanting. Push down just a little, pull up. Beautiful. I'm gonna use my chamois, just get that black off. Clean my stamp. I always clean my stamps as soon as I get done. I just feel like it keeps them nice. You want them to stay really nice. Then, to get back in the case and pull out just these little petals. I love these, they're so cute. So, I saw these and I absolutely fell in love with them, and I just couldn't wait to make a card for my daughters, because who doesn't remember, let me close this so it doesn't dry out. Who doesn't remember blowing these and making wishes as children? And we definitely did that a lot. My girls are in college now, so, but I think that they will really love these cards. So I'm actually gonna do 3 layers of them just looking like they're blowing away. And the great thing about handmade cards is they're all a little different, all just a little unique, and you can kind of play with it, see which placement of the petals that you like the best. Do just a little, I want just a little bit of this petal to show here. Give it some, just a little bit more. But I just love how fun this set is to work with. And you can just kind of play, see the placement that you like, figure out what works for you. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. And just clean it off with my chamois. And I love that chamois. Look how clean that is, so quickly. Then I'm gonna go over, and I haven't been able to get this to really show up on the camera, but I use Stella. I love this. It just gives a little bit of glitter to your project. It's got a little tip. Just gonna go through and on all of these little petals, I am gonna put this Stella. So starting in the middle and even on the little lines, little stems, not lines, but little stems. And we will do all of those, and it just gives a little pop to those. It's really pretty. I don't know if you can see that when I try to get it closer. And when I'm looking at the screen, I'm not able to see it, but if you've ever used Stella before, you know how beautiful it is, but definitely makes a difference. So the next step is to go ahead and do these layers, and go ahead and put these 3 layers together. Get my tape runner. Some people like to use glue, and that of course is fine. I'm in Texas, so there's a little bit of humidity here. If you live in a state that has, you know, some humidity like Tennessee, you probably use a lot more tape than glue. You could put this on dimensionals if you wanted to. The flag is going to be on dimensional, so I'm just layering this. But if you wanted to give it a little more, I hope my head wasn't in there. Then the next thing we're going to do is the flag. So we have our little flag piece, and the flag piece is 1 by 2 3/4. So 1 by 2 3/4. I'm looking for my tape. Sometimes I tape them down. It's not right here, so I'm not going to worry about it. Just going to kind of line it up. Then I'm going to pull out the sentiment that we're going to use for this card, which is, I made a wish and you came true. And I just absolutely love this. I think it is adorable. I'll use this block. And it doesn't really matter what block you use. I just like to kind of make sure that it's a little bigger than a little smaller if I need to. Oops, sorry. So I'm just going to stamp it here to the left because I am going to cut a little flag. Get the tuxedo black. And stamp down. Beautiful. Clean off my stamp really quickly. Now they do make a little tool that has that, and you can cut that flag. But I just kind of make a little point about a 1/2 inch in for this one. Depends on how big you want the flag. And then I just cut that. Of course, if you have that little flag tool, it's a little easier, and you can definitely use that as well. And then you can just erase that little pencil mark, or you could do it on the back too. So we're getting there. So now I'm going to use some dimensionals. Just place 3 dimensionals on there. And I just line it up to the side here. Ta-da. Made a little bow. And then just stick this bow on with a glue dot. I love this color. I think this is just so beautiful. Stick it on the corner. And then just trim this where you want it. That's a little too big. And then do the insert. Now the insert, I wanted a little bit of color as well. So I just took these little petals again. And with the Coastal Cabana, I just did up the left-hand side. You can do the right-hand side, you know, whichever you want. Just kind of, I like to start it kind of off the page. Whoops. And notice I got a little bit on there. So I'm just going to flip it over and do the back because we're just going to tape that on. So if you make a little mistake, it's easily fixed. And I'm just going to go up the page. Just like so. I'm gonna go ahead and close this. Use my tape runner. You'll see I'm covering that error. And kind of make sure it's even all the way around. And voila. And you have your beautiful Dandelion Wishes card to give to somebody special. So, and I think this one would be really easy to just mass produce if you needed a lot of them. I'm going to go back through after the video and do the Wink of Stella on all of these and just give it that little bit of shimmer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer it. Just leave me a message. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you.